A very good evening and welcome to Prime TV News, coming to you live and direct from the Prime TV studios with me, Abrar Abid. Now, before we go into our stories in detail, let's take a look at our headlines. Patali Champika is further remanded. 5 SIM cards and phones found in possession of Gania, who is in remand custody. President orders strict enforcement of law against fraudulent traders. Judiciary seeks a report on Facebook accounts of Easter attack suspects. Cardinal appeals to celebrate Christmas sans any fanfare. Majority of US House vote to impeach Trump for abuse of power. In our lead story, former Minister Patali Champika Ranawaka, who was taken into custody and remanded, causing an accident to the youth Sandeep Sampath, was reproduced in courts today. The Colombo Magistrates Court ordered that he be further remanded until the 24th of this month. The youth Sandeep Sampath sustained critical injuries in this motor accident which happened in the Rajagiri area in the year 2016, and he is still disabled. Sandeep Sampath, who suffered injuries in this accident, was admitted to the Colombo National Hospital and received treatment in the intensive care unit for several weeks in an unconscious condition. Several surgeries were performed and still he is suffering from various diseases even today due to this accident. The only son of the family, Sandeep's intention was to become a software engineer, but all his desires had become a dream. Patali Champika Ranawaka was arrested yesterday over this accident which occurred in the Rajagiri area in 2016. He was arrested from his residence. Patali Champika Ranawaka is being accused of producing another person after committing this accident. Another accusation leveled against him is negligent driving causing injuries to another person. Accordingly, the Attorney General instructed the Colombo Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police to arrest him. The suspicious parliamentarian, who was taken into custody in this manner, was produced in No. 4 Magistrates Court last night. The court therefore ordered to remand him until today. Accordingly, the police initiated action to produce Patali Champika Ranawaka in courts again today. Queries were raised in this respect at today's Cabinet News briefing. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that the law will never be bent for narrow political agendas under the governance of Gotabaya Rajapaksa. He mentioned that the youth who was involved in the accident and his family was seriously oppressed by former Minister Champika Ranawaka following the accident. The state and the police powers were misused by Patali Champika to cover up the incident. Bandula Gunawardena pointed out that the Attorney General had ordered the arrest of Champika Ranawaka regarding a complaint received by the Colombo Crimes Division. He also pointed out that there are eyewitnesses and other evidence which strongly suggest that the former minister was attempting to shift the responsibility of the accident to other parties. The minister noted that the Deputy Speaker was contacted over the phone prior to the accident. In more local news, 5 SIM cards and mobile phones have been recovered from the Swiss embassy staffer who is in remand prison. In the meantime, the judiciary ordered that all cell phones and SIM cards and mobile phones of the staffer and her husband that are in the custody of the Swiss embassy to be handed over to the CID. External Affairs Minister Dinesh Gunawardena mentioned that all investigations into the incident involving the Swiss embassy staffer are being carried out in a legal manner that protects her rights. That was in a telephone conversation with the Swiss Foreign Minister. The embassy staffer was again brought back to the National Institute of Mental Health, Angoda, today. The local employee of the Swiss embassy in Colombo, Ghana, Bannister Francis, had stated that she was abducted and assaulted and subject to sexual abuse. She had mentioned that the abductees had questioned information of the Swiss embassy. This incident dragged on to a diplomatic issue between the two countries. The Sri Lankan government is carrying out a broad and formal investigation into this incident. Investigations carried out so far have revealed that such an abduction has not taken place. This female staffer is now in remand custody on allegations of making false statements and embarrassing the government. She was again brought to the Mental Health Institute in Angoda today. Meanwhile, Swiss Foreign Minister Ignacio Cassius spoke to Sri Lanka's Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena yesterday over the phone and discussed this issue. The Sri Lankan minister had elaborated to the Swiss foreign minister the legal basis for the arrest of the Swiss staffer. The Swiss foreign minister had announced that maximum support would be extended for all investigative activities for the maintenance of better diplomatic relations between the two countries. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena had pointed out that all legal initiatives will be taken according to the local law as this woman is a Sri Lankan citizen. He had further stated that it would be done protecting all the rights. The External Affairs Ministry has announced that the Sri Lankan Foreign Minister had told his Swiss counterpart action had been taken with respect to the incident in conformity to the international standards. Meanwhile, the Swiss embassy staffer, who was directed to the National Mental Health Institute, was re-remanded by the prison officials after 5 hours of interrogations. In more news at home, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has instructed the Consumer Affairs Authority to be strict in enforcing the law against fraudulent traders. The President paid a sudden visit to the Narayanahitta Special Economic Centre to examine the prices of goods. The Consumer Affairs Authority recently announced that the maximum retail price of a kilo of rice is fixed at 98 rupees. However, the consumers complain that the traders are selling rice at higher prices. The decision to implement a control price for rice has been taken by the Cabinet after consulting major suppliers in the trade. In the backdrop, the special attention of the President was drawn to the issue of selling rice above the control price. During the inspection tour of the Special Economic Centre in Narayanahitta, the President contacted the officials of the Consumer Affairs Authority over the phone and instructed them to ensure that traders and consumers reap the best benefits of the tax concessions. The President also instructed the officials to take stern legal action against traders who attempt to induce an inflation in the price of rice by hoarding the commodity. The nod of the Cabinet has been received to appoint a 4-member committee to look into the MCC agreement. Minister Bandula Gunawardena made a clarification in this respect at today's Cabinet media briefing. The minister said that the Cabinet of Ministers has approved to appoint a 4-member committee to study the Millennium Challenge Cooperation Agreement. It will conduct a comprehensive study on the agreement and make necessary recommendations to the government. The decision of the previous government on the matter has been decided to be suspended until the committee reaches its conclusions. The committee will be chaired by Professor Lalitasiri Gunaruwan, will comprise of former Secretary of Transport, Ministry D.S. Jayavira, President's Council Nihal Jayawardena and civil activist Nalaka Jayavira. The minister also referred to several decisions arrived at the Cabinet meeting. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that with the aim of uplifting the rural agriculture, the import of all minor agricultural export crops including cloves, cardamom, nutmeg, cinnamon, turmeric and pepper that could be cultivated in the country has been banned. There is no law that it would be implemented until it is approved by Parliament. Minister Ramesh Patirana told journalists that the Cabinet had taken a decision to shift the Agricultural Ministry to the Govijana Mandiraya. The minister said that the Cabinet yesterday decided to shift the agricultural from the building where it is now located, and a monthly rental of nearly 24 million rupees is being paid to the Govijana Mandiraya. It was also decided at the Cabinet to either terminate or to take any other alternative action regarding the agreement on the building. In more local news, the judiciary ordered the Criminal Investigations Department to submit a report on Facebook accounts used by suspects linked to the Easter Sunday attacks. The order was delivered by the Colombo Fort Magistrate to the Chief Executive Officer of Facebook. The police informed the court that this bomb attack had been given publicity over the Facebook by a group of terrorists, including the leader of the Tawheed Jamaat organization, Mohammad Zahran, and his wife. Accordingly, the court directed the Facebook authorities to provide information on their accounts. 64 suspects who were arrested for alleged links to the now-banned terror group National Tawheed Jamaat have been further remanded until the 31st. They were produced before the Bataclan magistrate A.C. Rizwan today. According to the reports, the suspects were taken into custody in the aftermath of the Easter Sunday terror attacks. The suspects are accused of purportedly receiving weapon training at the Noor camp of the National Tawheed Jamaat. Archbishop of Colombo, Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith, has pointed out that Christmas should be celebrated sans any fanfare. He made this statement in a special statement at the Archbishop's house.
මේ අවුරුද්දේ අපේ ලංකාවේ සිදුවෙච්ච විශාලම ව්‍යසනය වුණේ මෙන්න මේ පාස්කු
His Eminence Archbishop Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith said that the most destructive incident that happened in Sri Lanka was the Easter Sunday attack. It was a very unfortunate incident and at this juncture should reminisce on those who were affected by the attack. He said that although it is a time of celebration, he said that they believed that it should be done in a simple manner. It should not be done overwhelmingly, but should draw attention to the spiritual side. The Cardinal urged the Catholics to spend this Christmas in a very simple manner, giving due consideration to the spiritual side. He also called on them to refrain from lighting crackers and extend support to the helpless with the money that is spent on such things. The Cardinal said that he has information that the government has taken a decision to keep liquor shops open on Christmas Day. He expressed concern about it. He said it is a question as to why the related department has initiated action to keep the liquor bars open on Christmas Day alone. He said that he is making a request from the department concerned and also the government to keep liquor shops closed on Christmas Day as it is usually done on religious festival day. In more local news, health sectors have emphasized that the attention of the public should be drawn to the dengue epidemic due to its spread in the country. In the meantime, Kurunegala town has been declared a dengue risk zone. The health department stated that dengue is spreading in and around Kurunegala. With the designation of the area as a dengue risk zone, a dengue eradication program has been launched. Public health inspectors of the Kurunegala Municipal Council took measures to inspect houses and public places. Awareness programs were also carried out. Public Health Inspector of the Kurunegala Municipal Council, CMI Ubesekara, said that if government officers can appoint dengue committees and initiate cleaning up programs at least once a week, it would be a major contribution to the fight against dengue. The PHI requested the public to extend their fullest possible support in this regard. Meanwhile, a dengue eradication program and a public awareness program are being mooted in the central province. Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police S.M. Vikramasinghe pointed out that this program will be implemented from the 21st to the 23rd of this month with the assistance of the police, the health sector and government officials. Provincial Senior DIG S.M. Vikramasinghe said that the dengue menace is getting worse in Kandy and Marthala districts following the heavy rains. He mentioned that 13 people have so far died and that many have been hospitalized for treatment. The DIG said that dengue prevention campaigns have been organized on the 21st, 22nd and 23rd of this month with the participation of the public. Let's now take a look at the very latest in the business arena. Popular carrier Qatar Airways is to increase its services to Colombo from 4 to 5 times a week from January. The expansion of flights to Colombo is part of Qatar Airways' move to add 66 weekly frequencies to 20 existing destinations in its network. Due to strong market demand and the recent deliveries of more fuel-efficient aircraft, the airline is expanding its network to 170 passenger destinations, further consolidating its position as one of the world's most connected airlines. Last week, Sri Lankan Airlines enhanced its code-share agreement with Qatar as well. And that is all the news for today. Do join us again tomorrow for the very latest. For the Prime TV News team, I'm Abrar Abid. A very good evening and take care.